would be wrong for independent media not to talk about the election in New York with Jamaal Bowman. Now, for those of you who don't know, Jamaal Bowman, Democrat, part of the progressive movement, air quote. Jamaal Bowman, part of the squad, was the first squad member to lose his reelection. Now, there's many factors to put in regards to Jamaal Bowman's defeat. Yes, let's address the one thing. He was facing off against an opponent that was backed up by AIPAC and other super PACs to get him out of office. So AIPAC, as well as other lobby groups and organizations, supported his opponent. And let's face it, in this day and age where we have zero election integrity and money in politics is legit, Jamaal Bowman was facing off against a slew of problems. But it's more than that. It's more than just facing off against a Democratic opponent that was backed up by AIPAC and other lobby groups. It's also for the fact that Jamaal Bowman and the squad and the progressive movement lost their movement. They've lost their support. See, there's two ways of looking at this. Number one, yes, of course, money in politics, horrible. Shouldn't be allowed. And no, I'm not a big fan of his opponent either, who's now won his primary. However, this defeat is also Bowman's fault as well, and the squad's fault as well. I've said on this show that the reason why I cover Trump, and at least the reason why I talk about his political organization, is because I respect the fact that he kept his movement together. The squad didn't. Bernie Sanders didn't. And by proxy, Bowman as well is part of that, which is why he lost. Lack of enthusiasm, lack of people caring. And if you look at all of the data, and if you look at the voter turnout for this year, the 2024 Democratic primary, the numbers are abysmal. They are small and pathetic in comparison to what we saw in 2016 and in 2020. And you would think that the Democrats would be concerned about it. But no, Bowman, like AOC and Bernie Sanders and the rest of the Democratic establishment, assume that their votes are in the bag, that they don't have to work hard. And after that cringe aftermath of their quote-unquote rallying the troops, look at how low the turnout was in that event. So I want to play this video from Hotspot where we witness Bowman losing to George Latimer. So let's go ahead and play this video.
Let's begin with Bowman and Latimer. Tonight, George Latimer is the projected winner, defeating Congressman Jamaal Bowman in that primary. 55% to Jamaal Bowman's 45%. And George Latimer speaking right now in White Plains. Let's listen in live.
We debate. We find a way to come together. This country cannot afford to splinter into little pieces. And
hold on, Georgie, take it easy. I know right now you're just shocked with all the money that you got. But Snork Y2K tip $2. The squad shat on us and wonder why we gave up. Oh, don't worry. I have a video that's pure gold. Pure gold from last year of May 25th, 2023. Don't worry, folks. You're going to see why we gave up.
And every single representative has to understand the necessity for unity so that we can move forward as a nation. To close, you have given me faith when those of you who did sent me to the Rise City Council. I was in front of that building today. And I looked at that building, and I remembered when I was 34 years old walking into that building as a councilman. Hugh Grecian remembers that. When I went...
You know what? Here's the thing. AIPAC was able to get his name out there, but Bowman still lost the votes. So there's many ways of looking at it. I mean, he who has the most, he or she that has the most money is able to, really make their presence heard. Plus, on top of that, there's another thing, too. Bowman probably lost voters because of his actions and the way he handled himself in Congress. Many people probably in his district just got tired of him and decided to move on.
To the county legislature, as my colleagues here are county legislators, when Larchmont, Mamaroneck, Rise sent me to the county legislature all those years ago. When people took a leap of faith and sent me to Albany. I always tell the story about how Amy Paulin could accomplish things that I couldn't accomplish, but I served alongside very talented people in Albany. And then I had the opportunity to come before you to ask you to get the opportunity to run this government of the county. This $2.4 billion budget, these 4,200 employees. Now, 6.5 years later, you know, you don't need a campaign ad to tell you who George Latimer is. You've seen who I am because of what I believe.
First of all, hold on. I don't care about his speech. My audience, why are you guys so mean? Notori Lee, baby, hold on. Baby, when I looked at his eyes, my eyes got effed up, LOL. Ms. Justice says, I'm happy Jamaal lost. He was useless. Mastermind Hour, stop staring at me and him. First of all, what is... Hey, all of you, where did you learn this behavior from? I know I never taught all of you to act this way. Why is my audience so mean? Where'd you learn this from?
So now, I ask you to give me a chance to go to Washington. You've given me that first major step. Let me try to do what I can do to bring some positive result to what's happening down there. I have never viewed an election as a blank check from you to me. It is a promissory note from me to you.
And I'm going to enrich myself because I'm owned by my corporate donors, and the donors supersede the voters. Don't you get it, suckers? I'm going to be a rich man while all of you are still going to be poor.
And it's a far different mood in Yonkers tonight, where Jamaal Bowman is speaking right now. Let's listen in live.
We should not be well adjusted to a sick society.
Oh, shut up. You know, I just want to pull up something here from my audience. You know, because again, just want to give a shout out to one of my audience members here. Hey, Jamaal, you know, this is why I love Twitter. This is why I love social media. Well, return. Here's from one of our followers, and Tori Lee says, look at this. This is a retweet from Revolutionary Blackout Network. Jamaal Bowman never tweeted about Julian Assange. Bowman was muted during the United States war against journalism, but this guy, the progressives are mourning. No results. Assange. Jamaal Bowman. He never said anything. He never did anything. All he did is, hell, the only thing he's going to be remembered for is not his big win during the 2020 election cycle where he defeated the incumbent or anything that he's done during that time. No, he's going to be remembered as the guy that pulled the fire alarm and would do clown show bullshit. That's what Jamaal Bowman's legacy is going to be.
We should be outraged. We should be outraged when a super PAC of dark money can spend $20 million to brainwash people into believing something that isn't true. We should be outraged about that. We should be outraged when, unfortunately, some so-called Democrats are aligning themselves with radical, racist, right-wing Republicans. We should be outraged about that.
No, I'm sorry. Bowman, let's be clear here about who and what Jamaal Bowman is. He is, well, a mediocre, lackluster politician, former politician. He no longer has access to the good cookies or the hotel rooms or the other wonderful benefits of being a congressman or woman. See, Bowman, you associated yourself as a Democratic Party, and I get it. I understand it. I understand. We live in a two-party system, but the thing is, are you not surprised that the Democratic Party would screw you over? There is no fundamental difference between a Democratic Party and a Republican Party. And as I said before, the only difference is that the Democrats have this shiny mask to trick people into thinking that they care about the social issues, but they don't. You are associated with a party that is pro-war, just like the Republican Party, pro-corporations, just like the Republican Party, pro-neoliberal policies of censorship, suppression, and abuse of power, just like the Republican Party. And you're shocked? Shocked now? After everything. You've been in office since 2020. You are now out of office. In those 4 years, you are pretending to be shocked at how the Democratic Party is operating. Does it come as no surprise why all of us have given the middle finger to the Democratic Party? And why all of us have given up on the Democratic Party, trying to reform a party that is fundamentally sick? It was a bold idea. Hell, even I fell for it. But as time progressed on, it's once again proven. If you want to waste your time, if you want to waste your money, if you want to waste your soul, and whatever time left you have on this world, get involved with the Democratic Party or Republican Party. Go ahead. Get lied to. Get abused. Jamaal Bowman was never going to fight for us. Jamaal Bowman was never going to stick his neck out for us. And I want to pull up this tweet from Due Dissidence. It wasn't $14.5 million in ads. They did help. I will say that. They did help his opponent that sank Bowman. Bowman lost because rich Zionist scum Democrats in Westchester County love Israel, hate Arabs, and are totally unbothered by the mass murder of innocent children because they're worthless pieces of human shite. 2, Bowman is a feckless idiot coward who didn't have the brains or the balls to serve in a way that would have kept his base behind him. And so when AIPAC came for him, he was a sitting duck because people like Jamaal Bowman, AOC and Bernie Sanders, and yes, even Biden, Schumer, and Nancy Pelosi, all assume that black people, brown people, women, young people, everybody who's part of the Democratic coalition 2020 would shut up and fall in line again. You have no incentive to be part of the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party doesn't respect you. And Bowman's now acting shocked that the Democrats would act this way? Get over yourself. Again, I want to read this tweet up from Aaron Mate. In trying to unseat Jamaal Bowman, AIPAC spent $14.5 million, in part the lesson that to be a Democratic elected politician in the U.S., you can't criticize the mass murdering, apartheid, military occupation regime in Israel. The Democratic establishment and their media allies have done their best to spread this message. And they have. The Sunrise Movement, however, says, there isn't any other way to say it, but F AIPAC. Our hearts are heavy tonight. Oh, boo-hoo. Jamaal Bowman should be heading back to Congress. Yes, there's another way to say it. In fact, there are a lot of ways to say it. To name a few, fuck Israel, fuck the Democrats, fuck Joe Biden, and fuck sheepdog astroturf outfits like yourselves who won't say any of those things because you're controlled opposition. Woof. Woof. So brutal. Why is everybody being so brutal these days? It's almost as if that's par for the course. But I want to pull up this video here. This is from 2023. Now, what happened on May 25th, 2023? Well, Colin Radix Carter of Indie News Network was actually at an event, a squad fundraiser of then Congressman Jamaal Bowman, AOC, Pramila Jayapal, Cori Bush, Ilhan Omar, Ayanna Pressley. They were all there. All of them were there. But it's interesting because it explains why Bowman and the squad are losing their base. It's because they're still going to bat for Biden. Because if Bowman got elected, you do realize he was going to tell all of you to vote for Biden. The same Joe Biden is turning a blind eye to the genocide in Gaza. So let's go ahead and play this video. Just a quick reminder about why Bowman lost.
The majority of Congress does not have a sense of urgency as it relates to doing something about this issue. Everybody's just going about their business, going about their day, in their nice suits, going to fundraisers, raising money, getting reelected, and they're not doing shit.
Like you.
Like, why are we negotiating with them on anything if they don't want to do anything about their guns? Why are we negotiating on any issue? Any issue. If we have people in Congress that are okay with our children being killed and gun violence being the #1 killer of children in America, we have lost our soul as a nation.
Don't you like those sweet words of a politician who likes to lie?
And so when I processed all of this consciously and subconsciously before I came out and started yelling at reporters to ask Republicans what the hell are they going to do about gun violence, which is what led to Massey addressing me and then us having that back and forth. But for me, you know, as I hear everyone speak on the issues that we're fighting for, I'm really grateful and appreciative to them and all of us and all of you. But I'm also like, damn, yo, like we got to take over this whole shit.
How are you going to take it over when you bend over backwards, spread them cheeks, and say, hey, Biden, Democrats, going deep, no pullout. You're exceeding expectations, Nancy, Chucky boy, Biden. Look, I'm not going to be nice here. I understand. Listen. I understand that the new guy, he's with AIPAC, he's with the lobby groups. I get it. But this is an example of corruption running amok. But also, the sad truth is that those who we thought would fight, for those of us who have the memories of 2016 and through 2020, of the idea of trusting these politicians, these people up here to fight for us, we were wrong to make that assessment. A lot of us got suckered in by it, myself included. You know, I had the audacity of hope. But quit fucking talking and wasting our time. Quit buzzing in our ears and actually do something. Hey, AOC and Cori Bush, remember when you guys, forgot? And Nancy was closing up session and you had to run back to Congress and stop her from adjourning because there was going to be a housing crisis, which there still is. And remember that little protest that you guys did in front of the Capitol. And as soon as everything was done, as soon as you got like a bunch of crumbs, you said, let's play some music and get back to dancing. Oh, but the problem's not solved because Americans are still facing housing insecurity. We got to do something, right? Why didn't you rally us? See, here's the thing. Trump and his voting base, he knows how to rally his supporters. He knows how to get his people up and ready. What does the squad and Bernie Sanders do? Everybody calm down. We got to be pragmatic. Or according to Fat Tony, we got to keep our powder dry. We got to keep our powder dry. We can't shake things up too much. We got to plan. We got to strategize. Oh, we failed this election, but next year, vote harder so we get more Democrats in. And this time, maybe we could do it. Oh, yeah, we got plenty of Democrats, but we got some conservative Democrats, though. We got some corporate Democrats, but hey, don't worry. We're a big tent party. These guys keep saying we got to do something. Well, then rally up the troops. Fight back.
Right. Right. And I mean right now. Like 2024 is a wrap. It's not just taking back the House. We got to grow seats in the Senate. We've got to drag this 80-year-old man across the finish line of the win.
Hold on. And here's where the brave Colin Radix Carter from INN speaks out. Why Biden?
Why? Why? Sorry, man, but I'm upset, because there's another thing, right? It's like,
why Biden?
I know, right?
Why?
I know. And maybe it should be one of us.
Should be one of us, but it's not going to be one of you. And it never will be. And by the way, when I had Colin on the show to interview him about that, and I'm going to post that link to that interview so you guys can see it. But what was interesting, what happened was that, folks, after Colin said that, there were a couple of handlers for that event who said, hey, watch your tone. The political police were there. By the way, Code Pink was there too. And they didn't protest much. Code Pink was there. I know it's a fun story. I gotta get Colin back on the show again. But what can we take away from Jamaal Bowman's embarrassing, hilarious landslide defeat? Don't invest money or energy with these politicians. You cannot reform the Democratic Party. Kyle Kalinske and Cenk Uygur's dream of raising the ruckus, shaking the apple cart, trying to form the Democratic Party from the inside was a dumb idea. It's like having the bear eat you and thinking you could change the bear from the inside. No, the bear is just going to crap you out, and you're going to become worm food or fly food, or however which way you want to look at it, because that's the perfect example of why you shouldn't mess with the Democrats or reforming the Democrats, because it's a pile of shite. DSA, Our Revolution, Brand New Congress, Justice Democrats, they are nothing more than failed attempts on trying to keep you, the progressives and independents, in line, and more importantly, securing their votes so they remain in power. You think Jamaal Bowman's would give a damn about Julian Assange or free speech or money in politics if he gets reelected in office? No, he doesn't. He doesn't care. He doesn't respect the voters or the people. And all this blame is going on to AIPAC, and AIPAC does play a role. Money in politics does play a role. But all responsibility, all blame falls upon the shoulders of Jamaal Bowman and himself. That's it. Him and his campaign staff and his advisors. Why is that? Because Jamaal Bowman left all of us behind. He chose not to fight back. By the way, folks, you do realize that he also gave money and voting support for the Iron Dome. So all the stuff about him being anti-Israel, being he voted in favor for the Iron Dome. He was more in favor with that, but still being, anti-Israel, right? Criticizing the apartheid government. It's either you're for it or against it. You can't speak out of both sides of your mouth. But wait, that's wrong for me. How dare I say that? That's wrong. That was mean of me. All what Jamaal Bowman was doing is blowing wind out of his wazoo. And it explains a lot about his maturity, who he is, and the fact that he's still promoting or was promoting Joe Biden. These progressives were never fighters. All of you watching this show, you are 10 times the fighter Jamaal Bowman is, because he was never going to fight. He says, we got to do something. We got to take it over. Well, then that's the point of you being a leader, sir. You have to step up and lead. And that's why the people in his district voted him out. Number one, people just didn't like him anymore. Number two, he lost it. He lost any of his original voting base to support him. And number three, he was a sitting duck and always will remain one. In fact, he's a joke. And his only legacy will be his clown show antics and him pulling a fire alarm in Congress. That's the legacy of Jamaal Bowman, former squad member of the Democratic Party, the Progressive Democrats, to be more precise. And dare I say it, the squad, whatever goodwill you once had with progressives and independent voters has evaporated. We view you the same as the other politicians, both Democrat and Republican. You're wasting our time. And yes, of course, you'll tweet things out and say things that we might agree with. But all in all, you were a waste of time. And this is why we have to look at other methods, not electoral politics, but citizen ballot initiatives and building movements and organizations not connected to Washington, D.C. Because the real truth is this. The squad, Bowman, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Pramila Jayapal, Ayanna Pressley, all of them, all these jokers. You know, it's enough time. You do realize that they were going to be the click, copy, paste versions, the replacements for Schumer, Nancy, Biden, and the rest of the old dinosaurs. They were never going to bring anything new. They were the same grape that was going to make the same stale, lackluster wine, and it was going to be bottled up in a new package and assume that people were going to drink it. Put it down. Walk away. And as for Bowman, no one's really going to miss you. but you did give us a lot of laughs. But I think your friend Thomas Massey, sorry, I keep on getting his name wrong. I think he'll miss you the most. So be sure to send a farewell card letter to him if you can, when you can.